where you're going to repeat your marriage vows after me, exchange rings, and unite you as a husband and wife. Before we get to those legal vows, I've got a very important question to ask you. Matthew, I'm coming to you first. I'll tell you the answer the room is looking for is you ready?
Yeah.
So Matthew, do you take Louise to be your lawful wedded wife, and do you promise to remain true to her for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
And Louise, the same question to you. Do you take Matthew to be your lawful wedded husband, and do you promise to remain true to him for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
And now you repeat your marriage vows after me, saying them to each other. Coming back to you again. Matthew, just repeat these words after me, saying them to Louise. I call upon
I call upon
these persons here present.
these persons here present.
You're marrying her. Say that again. I call upon
I call upon
these persons here present
these persons here present.
to witness
To witness
that I, Matthew,
that I, Matthew,
do take thee, Louise,
do take thee, Louise,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
And now you repeat the same words after me, saying them to Matthew. I call upon
I call upon
these persons here present
these persons here present
to witness
to witness
that I, Louise,
that I, Louise,
do take thee, Matthew,
do take thee, Matthew,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
We now come to the part of the ceremony where you're going to exchange rings to seal those vows. It is part of a long tradition of marriage that the contract is sealed by the giving and receiving of a ring. A wedding ring is an unbroken circle with no beginning or end, symbolizing an ending and everlasting love. It is also the outward sign of the promises you're making to each other today. Now, can I invite the best man Stuart? Please come forward, and you're going to present to Matthew the ring he's given to his bride. Thank you. Step aside for me. And now, Matthew, place that ring halfway on Louise's finger. And repeat the following words after me, saying them to Louise. Louise, I promise to love and care for you
Louise, I promise to love and care for you
in good times and bad.
in good times and bad.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of my love and commitment.
of my love and commitment.
May it remind you always
May it remind you always
of my vows to you today.
of my vows to you today.
Push the ring all the way. And now, Matthew, Stuart, please present to Louise the ring she's given to you. Thank you. Please come to the seat. And Louise, the same way, place that ring half in your hand. And repeat these words after me, saying them to you. Matthew, I promise to love and care for you.
Sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
Matthew, I promise to love and
In good times and bad.
in good times and bad.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of my love and commitment.
of my love and commitment.
May it remind you always
May it remind you always
of my vows to you today.
of my vows
So I know not
Of any lawful impediment,
of any lawful impediment,
why I, Matthew Thomas Petty,
for I, Matthew Thomas Pretty,
may not be joined
may not be joined
in matrimony
in matrimony
to Louise Sophie Charlotte Bridges.
to Louise Sophie Charlotte Bridges.
And I repeat the same words after me. I do solemnly declare
I solemnly declare
that I know not
that I know not
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Louise Sophie Charlotte Bridges,
why I, Louise Charlotte
may not be joined
may not be joined
in matrimony
in matrimony
to Matthew Thomas Bridges.
to Matthew Thomas Pretty.
On the right, make it congratulations.
It's quite dusty as well, so it's really getting
Right, can you hear me? Yes. Good. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Those who don't know me, I'm Tim Bridges, the father of the bride. I'm very proud of my daughter today. I'd like to welcome you to Louise and Matt's wedding. Thanks very much for coming to help them celebrate their special day. I'd like to tell you a little about Louise. She was a little premature and so arrived early in this world. Since then, she has not made a habit of arriving early for anything. As a toddler, she had a particular way of pronouncing certain words. Some examples were seption, which we would say reception, doctile for crocodile, sumpin for something, and waiter for radiator. And as a family, we still use some of these words today. As a child, she spent many happy hours with both sets of grandparents. She enjoyed lunches in my parents' garden in Banstead, and she played on the beach near Maurice's parents' house in Pevensey Bay. She went to Putney High School, and her reports show that she was attentive and conscientious. She was in the school choir and enjoyed singing with them at the Albert Hall. She developed an interest in literature, both English and French. One of her favourite early books was Little Women. As an imaginative and rather enthusiastic child, she particularly identified with one of the characters, Jo, and spent some time wearing a shawl and writing stories by candlelight. Later, at prize giving in 2005, she was awarded the Huckwell Memorial Prize for English. We remember being on holiday in France when her AS results were due to come out. We were in a Novotel in Amiens. Louise was very nervous about ringing the school to learn her results. Maurice and I were banished to reception, or in Louise speak, seption. After about 3 hours, she rushed over to calling out her result at the top of her voice. She'd done very well, and the manager brought out a bottle of Moet and Chandon to celebrate. After that, York University. She read English for 3 years and graduated in 2009. Louise has tried her hands at several sports. She showed great promise at sailing, and on one occasion showed great determination when, in strong winds, she pulled an anchor out of the mud flats in Salcombe, a feat which even the instructor could not manage. She can ride. Probably her favourite ride was a gallop on the beach outside Honfleur in France, and her least favourite was on a runaway pony in Richmond Park during the Christmas holidays, while, so I'm told, dressed as a troll. Probably her favourite sport is scuba diving. She has dived in the Blue Hole in Belize with sharks circulating beneath. She shares her love of this sport with Matt, and together they have dived off Lundy Island and in Scapa Flow and the Seychelles. She has enjoyed travelling with her school friends. In 2006, she went interrailing in Europe with Sarah, Julia and Margot. They may remember surviving off Werther Originals for a few days, as they had not left enough time to buy food for the train. The following year, she went to India with Sarah and Julia. Then later, and I have to say much against our wishes, in March 2011, our rather adventurous daughter went on her own to Central America for 6 months. Maurice and I did not think this was a good idea, but Louise insisted. She enrolled in a college in Guatemala to learn Spanish. She taught English in Honduras at a school in the hills, traveling there and back by truck. She ended up in Panama and flew from there to London in September 2011, arriving at the city airport with a jaunty Panama hat and a large wooden turtle, and the turtle is now in our sitting room at home. Almost all her work has been for charities. She's worked for Cancer Research UK and Comic Relief in London, Oxfam in Oxford, and from 2019, WaterAid in London. Now, moving to Matt. It was a lucky day for Louise when she met Matt as a guest at Johnny and Sophie's wedding. He was one of a large group of friends from York University. Their relationship went from strength to strength, and they enjoyed lockdown together. We were delighted to finally be able to meet Matt once lockdown was relaxed. "He's very good looking, Mum," said Louise to me. They couldn't come into our house because of the remaining restrictions, but we had lunch in our freezing cold garden. They flew to the USA at the end of 2021 and got engaged at sunrise in Monument Valley in Arizona. Josh was born on the 21st of October 2022. Historians may like to know that this was the 217th anniversary of the Battle of Trafalgar. Josh also likes travelling. Although he is not yet 2 years old, he has already been to Italy, Spain, Montenegro and the Seychelles. Lucky Josh. Matt is cool, calm and collected, taking everything in his stride. In contrast, our dear daughter can be a bit of a whirlwind, and so this is an ideal combination. Matt is a very caring, hands-on dad, and he and Joshie have a wonderful time together. We're so proud of the little family that the three of them have made. It's been a joy to observe Louise become a mother. She's fun, kind, and dutiful, and we are sure that Matt will look after Louise. One small thing which Matt will have to deal with is what we call Louise's trail, and I should explain what that is. Whenever she comes for a night or two, she inevitably leaves a few of her items of belongings behind, sometimes one or more in each room she's visited. We have to collect all these abandoned items and try to reunite them with her. I remember that once I found a baby monitor that she had accidentally left behind and had to rush down to Putney Bridge Station to give it to her on the platform. So Matt, good luck in dealing with that. Now I'd like to welcome Matt to our family. The bride would now like to say a few words. I give you Mrs. Louise Pretty.
Hello. Yeah, I'd love to say a few words. I've never given a bridal speech before, so bear with me, I'm a bit nervous. It's a good start. Firstly, I just want to say, oh Josh, is it okay? I just want to say a few thank yous. This is incredible, and I feel completely overwhelmed to see everyone that you know and love under one roof-ish. So thank you so much for coming to help us celebrate this day with us. I particularly want to just thank those who've come from afar, and I also just want to thank the parents of young people who are here. I know it's not easy organising childcare and leaving little people behind, although let's be honest, it's also absolutely brilliant. But it's really recognised and so appreciated. I would like to thank both of our families. Without their generosity, this just incredible day wouldn't be possible. I'd like to thank my parents in particular. Do you know where you are? 1, 2. Maurice and Tim, thank you for all of their love, laughs, home-cooked food, wine in the garden, Dad, lectures on Napoleon. there's a theme here. Thank you just for always being on the end of the phone, and yeah, you've just been the backbone of my life since the day I was born. I was just trying to think of a way to describe my dad, and grandfather clock just kept coming into my head. Yeah, you're just steadfast, dependable, constant, and a little bit of touch of eccentricity, which only my family will know what that's referring to, and I'm going to leave it at that. I just hugely admire your integrity and how principled you are, and I really love to think that it's rubbed off on me. Mum, I can't see you. Hello. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for you. I can't look at you because I'm going to cry. Your creativity, your enthusiasm, your somewhat eccentric ideas, your ability to just not stop laughing, your love of celebration, any celebration, it's so infectious. It's truly rubbed off on me as well. Watching you both become grandparents has just been a complete joy. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. To my brother, if I could be so bold as to suggest, I think I've got an alright sense of humour, and I reckon this is all because of my brother. You are so light-hearted and playful and fun, and you also just give such sage advice, and I very much appreciate being able to come to you in times of woe. So yeah, thank you so much to all of my thumbs up. So yeah, thank you so much to my family. I may now be a Pretty, but I'll always be a Bridges with a Y in my heart. Okay, to the Pretty family. First of all, what a smashing surname. I don't know where you are. Absolutely delighted to have that now. To be part of the Pretty family is an extremely lucky thing indeed. From the get-go, I really truly have felt part of your family. So, I'm going to cry. So thank you. You've been so warm, so welcoming, so generous. And Stan and Christine, you've just raised the most beautiful man. So thank you. Steve, Joe. I feel so lucky to have you as brother and sister-in-law. Oh no, sorry, it's setting me off. Just seeing the fun and vibrant life that you provide for the kids is truly an inspiration to us, and we feel so lucky that we have you as role models. To my best women, who I think are kind of scattered, Meg, Holly, Julia, Emily, Jess. I don't think I'd be standing here without you. You're just the most extraordinary support system to have in my life. You're always there when I'm having a wobble, always there to have some fun. You're just wise, funny, courageous women that I am truly blessed to call my friends. So thank you so much. And to other friends here, and to Matt's friends, who I'm really grateful to call my own. Thank you for just being so great, and I'm just really proud to have mates like you. Oh, it's sad that I can hear Josh crying. It's all right, Mama. What's going on? Why's Mama's voice so loud? Okay, and now on to my favourite subject. Matthew Pretty. What is it? Patty. I feel like I've been writing this speech since the day I first met you. Actually, I often tell Matt that if he'd proposed on the first date, that I'd have said yes, which is so desperate. It's really intense and desperate. He never reciprocates. So, as people have gathered by now, we met at Johnny and Sophie's wedding. I don't really believe in the one or fate, but I can only describe how I felt, and truly it was like a bit of a lightning bolt moment, and this feeling of, oh, it's him. And I actually text Emily and Jess to say I just met my future husband, and they didn't take it entirely seriously. I was quite drunk. But here we are, so joke's on there. About Matt. stop with that. Does he want to stand up here? Yeah, come up here. Yeah, it's a bit smoky.
You might find this overwhelming.
Do you want to take the mic? Sorry.
You're juggled.
Whoa. Okay.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah. It's weird because I'm so It's literally about you as well. Okay. Hold on, where are you? Okay, you are my favourite person. You are the best person I know. Just a few things about Matt for those who don't know him very well. You are naturally so kind-hearted, truly. You never have a bad word to say about anyone, and if you do, it's so mild. It's not worth saying, to be honest. You're just so naturally. You're so naturally empathetic and thoughtful and sincere and stoic, and you're so funny. Often without realising it. Something Holly and Ed say is that they can watch the same television programme and laugh at exactly the same moments. And that's how we feel, that's how I feel. We just laugh at exactly the same points in the TV programme. As you've probably gathered by now, I can be a bit chaotic, a bit last minute, but you are just the perfect antidote to that. You're just completely unflappable, and with you I just feel completely calm. I just feel so grounded and so safe. And we just have such a wonderful time, so I really appreciate that. My Uncle Robert, who I don't know where,
Right here.
There he is. Probably didn't realise that he was giving me advice. But at one point years ago he said,
Go with George.
"Do you want to go with George?" Sorry, I'm almost done.
Still need me?
My Uncle Robert once said that you want to find someone that expands your life, that doesn't shrink it. And I truly find that I've found that with Matt. It's just a bit of an adventure and so much fun. And finally, one of the most wonderful things about Matt is that he really genuinely doesn't seem to realise quite how wonderful he is, which makes him even more so. So, to finish my speech, I would just like us all to raise our glass and make a toast to Matt. To Matt!
I understand we're heading inside now.
Everyone's had some salad now. Hello everyone. Just to start by saying thanks so much for everyone for making the effort for coming today to celebrate our wedding. We hope you've all had a good day so far, and that will continue into the night. So I've got a few thank yous to say before I pass to Lenny and Stuart. First big thank you goes to my parents, Stan and Christine, who are a true inspiration to me. Despite their older years, they're as youthful as ever. They're both still working on and off, regularly looking after their 3 grandkids, and Dad even was skiing earlier this year at the age of 86. Are you not going next time? I can't praise enough the way Mum and Dad brought me up, me and Steve up when we were younger. Not just in a loving family, but also giving us the space to try all sorts of things and develop into the people we are today. They're a true inspiration to us with Joshua for our parenting now and how we want to bring him up. In my adult life, we've continued to be great pillars of strength and support for both me and Louise, which we're forever appreciative of. We love you and thank you for all you do for us and Joshua. I also want to say a big thank you to my new parents-in-law, Tim and Louise. From the day we first met, initially over Zoom during the pandemic, and then through various socially distanced get-togethers, they've welcomed me into the family as one of their own. Thank you for bringing Louise up to be the woman she is today. I can see many of the qualities which I love in her coming from you. Your kindness, support and generosity to us have been unwavering, and it's been really lovely to see you in your new role as grandparents to little Joshua as well, who's also very fond of you. A few shout outs to people who have really helped us to pull today's celebration together. Tom, who has repaid the favour of emceeing, thanks for keeping us all moving, and I look forward to being crowd surfed by you later, no doubt. My brother Steve, arriving fresh from Prague this morning, has helped us with the equipment and logistics, and we'll also be hearing from his band once we're finished with the food. And yeah, he and Joe are also having Joshua tonight, so we get a line tomorrow, which is very much appreciated.
No, Steve has his own band.
And again, Louise's mum Maurice has helped us with all these flowers in the vicinity from their garden, cut on Thursday. Big thank you for that. And also, all of the linen has come from, the napkins, has come from, I think, Louise's grandmother, so thank you for helping us with that. Also, everyone who's helped us look after Joshua over this weekend, not just today, so we're able to enjoy the day, not worry too much about childcare. Special shout out to Holly, who just always goes above and beyond, helping us in general, but especially with Joshua. She took Joshua yesterday so we could do the decorations in here, which is really appreciated. Final shout out to Kaylee. She sort of project managed the engagement ring. Basically, she was in New York and she knew I was about to propose. And she was like, I'm in the jewellery quarter of New York. Can I sort this for you? And we had a lot of photos and messages and managed to get a ring which Louise absolutely loved. Big thanks to Katie for that. So before I talk about my best men, I wanted to give a big thank you to Louise's best woman as well for always being there for Lou and also for us through thick and thin. I know how much Lou appreciates all of your friendship and support, and I in turn thank you for what you do for her. Likewise, my two best men, Lenny and Stuart, are childhood friends, and we have all gone through school, working and living together. We all actually went to nursery together, though I knew, apparently, though we didn't really know each other. I knew Stuart from primary school, really. So from as far back as I remember, we were best friends. I remember looking up to him, largely because he knew a lot of swear words and bigger boy stuff from his big sisters. We ended up going to different secondary schools for a few years, but reunited in sixth form. Woo! Anyone who knew Stuart this time must surely be questioning my picking him as my best friend. For one, his main hobby at the time was basically trying to embarrass people, especially his close friends. So a big favourite of his was the classic, pulling down your trousers when you're not looking. Often getting your boxer shorts as well. So you'd be stood somewhere in school with all the girls you fancied around you, naked from the waist down, scrambling to pull your trousers up. So to pick someone with this kind of passion for embarrassing you to be my best man speech is probably questionable on my part, but we'll look forward to that. Lenny and I also got to know each other in sixth form originally, and he quickly became not only my best friend, but also my protege as a garage DJ. I like to think our friendship isn't only based on him looking up to me as one of South Bucks' premier UK DJs, circa 2003 to 4, but it surely must have had something to do with it. Lenny and I have done a lot together, travelled, worked as cleaners, waiters, and more recently as wedding photographers. and had a lot of fun times and nights out together. I'm so grateful for the friendship from Stuart and Lenny over the years, and I hope it will carry on for many more. Also for all their support for both today, in the lead up, and for my stag do in Munich, which I just had the best time on. It was amazing. The stag do got off to an auspicious start when there was a bomb scare at the airport, 6 a.m, and our flight got cancelled with an eventual 10-hour delay to arrival. I don't know how you managed to arrange this, guys, but it was top stag. Well done. And now it's my beautiful wife. Doesn't she look amazing tonight? So after we met at Johnny and Sophie's wedding and been dating a few months, lockdown hit, we had a choice. Either we try and wait it out for an unnamed length of time, or Lou moves in with me. We chose the latter, and it was a great choice for us. We were so lucky that the first lockdown was just great for us, getting to know each other and having lots of fun. And that word fun is so key with Lou. She has a great sense of fun, and it's something I really love her for. We spend a lot of our time laughing, often at each other. Like me, she's always going for new things, new places and new experiences. To the extent that I'll often suggest something and she'll enthusiastically say yes, then I'll realise when it comes to going, she'll have no idea what it is. But we absolutely bang up for it all the time. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives continuing to live life to the fullest and for everything we've experienced together. While Lou can occasionally be what I'd affectionately term as a bit of a space age, her caring and thoughtful nature is just so instinctive and natural. I'm always in awe at her ability to think and feel as if she were other people. I knew from very, very early days that Louise would be a great mum because of the qualities I've already mentioned and others. And I really can't overstate how great a mum she is to our son Joshua. Seeing her with him every day has just made me love and appreciate her even more. And we're so happy with our little family life now. Organising this wedding has been a bit like our relationship with my cousin. A great partnership where we complement each other perfectly. She brings the fun, I bring the admin and spreadsheets. I knew Lou was a last-minute person, but it was when she suggested painting our kitchen this last week. Despite us not having sorted a lot of stuff for the wedding, including her lovely outfit that she's wearing, I knew what I was marrying into. Louise, I love you. I promise to keep bringing the admin, and hopefully more, as long as you keep bringing the fun. And with that, I'd like everyone to please raise your glasses, raise a toast to Louise.
Okay, so tough act to follow. We've got a couple of guys new. So, what you've all been waiting for, the best men, Lenny and Stu.
Hello everybody, thank you Tom. So yes, we are the double act known as Stuart and Lenny, the two best men for this wonderful occasion. And with there being two of us, we thought it best to roughly organise this into sort of early days and then latter days. So with me going first, I get to tell all the nice innocent anecdotes before Lenny delves deep into the teenage years and beyond. Hopefully stopping short at the at Matt's penchant for all-male naked wrestling, which thankfully now is a thing of the past. What are you laughing about, Max? Truth is, I feel absolutely privileged to have known Matt and his wonderful family for such a long time. Knowing Stan and Christine as I do, I think it's safe to say they must be absolutely brimming with pride today to have seen their son develop into such a talented and charismatic, successful young man. Just an all-round exceptional human, really. Where are you, Steve? I first met Matt some 34 years ago, believe it or not. And together we saw out what I'm sure most of us here would agree was a fantastic decade, the 1990s, allowing us to share a deep-rooted love for Britpop, Curtains, Undercuts, The Demon Headmaster, David Beckham, Hamsters, we loved Hamsters, didn't we? Harry in the Field, Pogs, and one of Matt's particular favourites at the time, the lesser-known Peter Andre single, Flavour, or F-L-A-V and Flavor, as you would always point out. He did it again. Those of you who are not familiar with Peter Andre's single, Flavor, as Matt calls it, I'm sure he'd be more than willing to do one of his world-famous impersonations of it later on. Or do you want to do it now, Matt? Do you remember your favourite line? Do you remember your favourite line?
I honestly don't.
That's right, I'm kicking your flavour. Remind us. No. Despite going way back, writing a best man speech about Matt actually struck me as quite a difficult task. What you want in an ideal world is a sort of larger-than-life character, someone full of stories and surprises. Someone like Steve, I suppose. But with Matt, very few notable misdemeanors, or suitable misdemeanors, I should say, came to, yeah, I'm going to think of many. He's sort of Mr. Reliable, isn't he? He's, to use his own favourite word, a bit of a pencil. Right? He's always level-headed, keeps his emotions in check, never gives too much away. Now, Louise, you said you were really happy with your new surname earlier. Can I point out another definition of pretty? See, I think of Matt as sort of Matthew Monotone Pretty, and pretty can also be defined as, I've got it here in fact, to a moderately high degree. See, fairly or quite, yeah? You might hear Matt say, yeah, pretty good, is right, about something that's exceptional, clearly above average. So anyway, I challenge you to picture Matt getting giddy with excitement or overly irate. It doesn't really happen. He's always Mr. Level. So yeah, it troubled me. I couldn't think of much to say, but then the more I thought about it, I just discovered something quite surprising actually. I discovered he's a deeply complex and multifaceted personality. And my findings surprisingly suggest there are as many as 13 faces of Matthew Pretty. So let's explore that. By 1996, everybody, the boy who was born as Matthew, there's our first face, baby Matthew, by now has become 10-year-old Matt. Another face for you, so just two so far. Matt has quickly become my best friend throughout primary school, and dramas were few and far between, as you would imagine, until one exceptional day, Matt. Me and a few of the boys, he knows, yeah. We had put together we planned a choreographed goal celebration, which we were to unveil on the field at lunchtime in front of all the girls we fancied, let's put it that way. We were going to show off. Now, perhaps this was misjudgment on my part, but Matt was not privy to this premeditated celebration. And so when the ball hit the net, we wheeled off with this acrobatic routine, and Matt could only look on with all of the other spectators in awe. He was livid, absolutely livid, and the red mist just completely descended. All of a sudden, Matt came racing towards me like a rabid dog. No joke. Tears streaming down his face, scratching, slapping, spitting, just repeatedly screaming in my face. Why didn't you let me in the celebration? Why? I'm really sorry, Matt, for that moment. I don't know why I didn't include you in the celebration. I've never apologised. I'm really sorry. It still cuts you, and I still remember it to this day. It's always stuck with me. It may seem insignificant to most of you, but I actually think possibly this traumatic event had a deep impact on Matt's cognitive development. Now, I theorise, perhaps that day, he scared himself so much with his own rage that he vowed from that day on to be monotone Matthew, to be forever wooden and lacking in any sort of emotion. Perhaps it was that. Or perhaps, this was our first glimpse of Matt's infamous alter ego, Knifey. To Knifey, everybody. Knifey. Now, those of you who don't know Knifey, don't worry, he's not some knife-wielding delinquent. Don't worry about that, no danger there. He's just this harmless guy who likes to chuck around the odd knife at the end of a party. It's a Knifey. But no, back in '96, I don't believe that was our first glimpse of Knifey. This purple-faced, psychotic, flailing-limbed child was actually a face that my sisters coined as Matt Pretty Ugly. To Matt Pretty Ugly. Matt did eventually forgive me for Celebration Gate. And so the friendship blossomed throughout primary school. Matt and I would call each other almost daily on the house phone. I'd call him and get Stan trying hard to shake off his Aussie accent. And I'll never forget, hello, this is Amersham, 725186. Probably still got the same answer phone message, and Matt would call and get one of my two sisters, who took great pleasure in calling up the stairs, Stuart, Matt Pretty Ugly's on the phone. And so on it went, like that really, hamsters, Oasis, dodgy haircuts, football, repeat. Until, as Matt said, we were torn apart against our will and we went to different secondary schools. And so we parted ways on a 4-year hiatus, and radio silence really, wasn't it, strangely? But come sixth form, we were back together again. Very exciting. Matt changed schools and he came to join me at Chesham High School. By now, 17-year-old Matt had reinvented himself once more for this new chapter in his life. He'd rebranded, and he had become the rather cool-sounding and suavely seductive Matty P. And that's where this man enters the story, because I'm going to hand over to Lenny for a while, who's going to share his findings on what followed, and who knows, perhaps he'll unearth some more of these surprising alter egos along the way. Lenny, over to you.
When Matt asked me if I'd be his best man, I was petrified. Matt, you see, is held with huge affection by such a wide range of people. He's basically a national treasure. David Attenborough, Mary Berry, Andy Murray, Matthew Petty. So you see, I've been bearing the burden of responsibility for months. How do you do justice to such a well-respected, lofty personage? So the best speeches that I've heard give the audience an appreciation of how the groom's character has evolved over the years, how their experiences have moulded them into who they are today. On deep reflection about Matt, however, one thing struck me. The hallmarks of the great man you see before you here today were already there when I met Matt back in sixth form. Allow me to explain. So, as most of you will know, Matthew Pretty is a man of culture, which is hardly surprising when you consider his family. We have Stan Pretty, esteemed thespian and local historian, Christine Pretty, multilinguist and globetrotter, Steve Pretty, successful musician and podcaster, culture vultures. So when I first met Matt, you'll be unsurprised to hear that he was already forging his own path to glory. You see, in the early 2000s, Matt was a pioneering force in the burgeoning South Buckinghamshire UK garage scene. DJ Matty P, put up the Cheshire My Massive. No, he was genuinely a really decent DJ. Sold out shows in reputed venues you'll all be familiar with. Chalfont St Peter's Football Club, the Scout Hut on Rectory Hill, the weird little room above Pete Rowe's parents' garage. I think he even played a set at the under-18 rave mecca of the Chiltern Hills, Winkers Country Club. Matt even taught me how to mix, and those are my first memories of our friendship. Spending happy hours in the top bedroom of 102 Plantation Road, mixing garage vinyl on the wheels of steel as Matt christened his decks. And Chrissy and Sam, legends that they are, never once complained about the noise. So memories of those happy weekends long past at the Pretty's house bring to mind another Matty P hallmark that was evident right from the beginning. Yes, all of you who know him are aware that Matt is a massive foodie. Now, I was mostly raised on bread and water, meat and 2 veg in the more humble backwaters of Cheshire. 102 Plantation Road, Amersham, however, was a classy joint. I'm talking smoked salmon, salami Milano, boursin, capers. Now, Matt doesn't suffer less adventurous souls gladly. 'Twas ever thus. I remember an occasion when a friend of ours point blank refused to sample a pretty household staple. Waitrose sun-blushed tomatoes. They were good. How did Matt respond to the flagrant disregard of his genteel hospitality? He shook his head with disdain, looked her firmly in the eyes, and told her she was ignorant. Curious then that he later developed such a dependence on the far from classy Tesco oven pizza that he picked up another nickname, Matty Pizza. Now, anybody who knows Matt will be aware of his love for Watford FC. Saturday afternoons during sixth form often found us on the terraces of Matt's beloved Vicarage Road. Now, one thing we all love about Matty P, as refined and gentlemanly as he no doubt is, I think we'd all agree, there's a bit of a lad in there. I'm sorry, I had to do this. Matt, what do you think of Luton?
Shit.
What do you think of shit?
Thanks very much. That's all right.
Yes. We hate Luton, we hate Luton. We hate Luton, we hate Luton. We are the Luton. We hate Luton.
No, not doing it.
The line is, you stinky jippos. So, I'm going to fast forward a little now. Matt went to York University, and on graduating, moved to London, as did the majority of our school friends. Something which speaks volumes about Matt is his ability to bring people together. So, Matt's York University friends became our school friends' friends. Our school friends' university friends became Matt's university friends' friends. Friends of friends became friends of friends, and of friends. In fact, today we have a really incredible network of companions. Matt is the glue that links our shared histories. Countless fun throughout the years. Nights out, holidays, five-a-side football teams, all thanks to this man, the gaffer. Yeah. It's really no exaggeration exaggeration to say he's beloved by all who meet him. We love him, don't we? Right. So, on moving to London, Matt, Stuart, and myself, along with Chantal, Luke, and Sophie, moved in together a stone's throw from where we are now gathered. And Matt developed an interesting skill. Something a lot of you may not know, Matt is amazing at impressions and accents. I mean, honestly, it's uncanny. It's really, really good. Let's play a little game. Come on. Okay. So I've got some names written on some cards. Stuart, could you give them the first one? So I'd like you all to guess, who is Matt impersonating? Okay. The first one. This is somebody at the wedding. Okay. Sure.
You're 22!
It's Joe Hills. Very good, very good. Okay, something for the crowd. This is a well-known sports commentator.
And it's go, go, go!
Murray Walker. Okay, a well-known British sportsman. Oh.
Or he's hit that for 6, and that is lovely. That is lovely cricket.
Kevin Peterson.
Two more.
Another person at the wedding.
Yeah, but no. Yeah. No. Yeah, no.
Okay, one more. This is the cherry on top. I think you know what's coming. This is quality. Let's not even say it. Stuart, just show me the card. So you can guess who this is.
The IRA is a legitimate.
Ian Paisley Senior?
Oh no, actually it's the other one. That's probably.
Round of applause for Matthew P. and his book on impressions. So, in keeping with Stuart's hypothesis, I'd like to share a few more nicknames that reveal the many alter egos that lie beneath the surface of this seemingly straightforward man. So we've mentioned Peds, his lad's alter ego. We've had the Gaffer, his authoritative managerial persona. Then there's Tripod. Why do some call him Tripod? You may be asking yourself. Well, you see, Matt has a gift, which we're all extremely envious of. Matt, you see, has an enormous passion for photography, which Louise in particular is extremely grateful for. I'm not sure what you're laughing about. We've all seen Matt's equipment, his photographic equipment. All that's usually required are a few beverages and a little encouragement from Matt's courtroom. And Tripod is only too happy to show off his remarkable photos. Max usually gets his out as well, but he'll be the first to admit they're not as impressive as Tripod's. Another nickname, Chopper. I know we've got that one, Matt. Something to do with helicopters? So, the serious part. So it really is no exaggeration to say that Matt has been an amazing friend to me and that I'm extremely grateful for him. For me, he is many things. He's generous to a fault. He's ever dependable. He's sensitive. He's a great listener, a confidant, and a chauffeur. Matt's literally driven me thousands of miles over the years. I owe you more than a lift or two. So, as Matt has mentioned, when COVID struck, I was living in Rome, and it was looking pretty bleak, so I decided to fly back to the UK. I was concerned about going straight back home to my parents in case I passed something on, and was a bit stuck. Matt, as ever, an amazing friend, didn't hesitate to take me in for a couple of weeks to quarantine. Matt and Louise hadn't been together all that long and were still living apart. And faced with a sudden indefinite separation, they decided to take the plunge and coop up together for however long the lockdown lasted. So as I left Matt's place at the end of my quarantine, Louise was poised to move in. Where is Louise? Louise was poised to move in. So I have a really clear memory of leaving the apartment. I knew that it was going to be a significant time for Matt and Louise, basically make or break. I'd only actually met Louise a couple of times, or a handful of times at that point, but we clicked right away, and I just knew you were well decent. I had such a strong feeling. I knew that Matt was about to cross a threshold, one that he'd been trying to cross so hard for a good few years, and I knew that he'd found the right person to cross the threshold with. This was it. Do you remember, Matt? As we parted at the door, I looked at you and I told you this would be the last point that you'd be living alone. So the next time I visited, during one of those windows between lockdowns, Louise had firmly put her stamp on the place. She'd rightly disparaged Matt for his mismatching furniture and had begun to transform the bachelor pad into their first home. Since then, Louise and I have gotten to know each other well, in particular bonding over a shared love of trashy reality TV shows. Something I particularly appreciate in you, Louise, is your selflessness and your truly caring nature. I've seen how you put others before yourself, and I've seen how you softened Matt's sometimes curmudgeonly side. It's been an honour to watch you grow as a couple, and I'm just so delighted to be able to speak these words before you today. So before I hand you back to Stuart, would everyone please raise their glass to Louise?
Thanks, then. So, to complete the picture and just bring us completely up to date, it would be remiss of me not to mention the stag do. Breaking with tradition, the gaffer here somewhat dictated his own stag do destiny, making it clear that he wanted to be in Germany during the Euros to soak up some of the atmosphere. So we bowed to his pressure and took him to Munich, as he mentioned, starting early at Heathrow Airport. So there we were, sat in departures, supping at our 6 a.m. beers. All of a sudden, a strapping lad in uniform appears at our table, seemingly dressed as a police officer. I know what you're thinking, this wasn't some wrestling we'd laid on for Matt. No. Little did Matt know, the machine gun this man was wielding was in fact genuine, and he was ordering a full and immediate evacuation of the terminal due to a security threat. Never before in my life have I seen a group of grown men wolf down their free breakfasts and free beers with such a sense of urgency. It's amazing to see where one's priorities lie in a potential life or death situation. Safety, free beers, I know which one those guys chose. So, as Matt said, a bomb scare, a cancelled flight, a missed connection, and a 4-hour train ride across Germany later. After a marathon 14-hour journey door to door, Matt finally arrived in Munich, missing half of the Germany game which he had so craved to be amongst, with all best laid plans out the window. Matt, fair to say we absolutely stagged you good and proper. All that remains then is a little bit of housekeeping. We do have some well wishes from afar. Matt's good friends from overseas. First of all, Paul Kirtley, creator of the Peds alter ego. Jamie Lyons and Mike Walliver, unfortunately all couldn't make it here today, but each of them send their heartfelt wishes to you and to Louise for this special day. So that concludes... What?
Last minute.
What are you doing? For God's sake, now. Enough of this. Okay. Got another message here from Fraulein Schwarzkopf. Polizeiinspektor Schwarzkopf. Yeah. Remember, that was the frisky German police lady who came to your aid following your misadventures in that Munich taxi ride. Yeah? Let me hear what she has to say. Matthew, you seem such a nice boy, but disappointingly I have discovered CCTV footage which shows you walking away in my high-heeled shoes shortly after I assisted you in maneuvering around your pile of vomit. Your friends also appear to be fooling around with my taser equipment in a very inappropriate manner. Please return both items to the Bavarian State Police Department as a matter of urgency. I wish you well in your marriage. She was nice, wasn't she? It was lovely. Yeah, remember. So, there we have it, ladies and gents. The 13 faces of the surprisingly complex character that is Matthew Monotone Pretty. We've had Matt Pretty Ugly, Matty P, Pede Peds, Pedders Pedals, Matty Pizza, Tripod, Chopper, Gaffer, and last but not least, Knifey! Joking aside, and I mean it now, the emotion on Matt's face today is unrivaled, and I can only conclude that we are witnessing a transformation before our very eyes. A man who is full of joy and not afraid to show it. Crucially though, it's not just Matt anymore. Matt, you are forever entwined with your wonderful wife, Louise, and we couldn't be happier for you. So, please everybody, let's stand this time. Let's raise a final glass and let's do it properly this time to the birth of this 14th and no doubt final phase of the journey. Let's simply call them as they are. No more silly nicknames, just Mr. and Mrs. Pretty, everybody.
Yeah.